Philippines, hello world. This is TV Patrol. I am your patroller, Mariel Joy Orong, willing to serve every Filipino people. And for the news headlines.
U.S. election results and maps 2020. Joe Biden wins U.S. election after victory in Pennsylvania. 2,442 new COVID-19 cases raised PH to 396,395. Unsubstantiated statements of Ka Eric's confession embattled armed forces of the Philippines. The push for a COVID-19 vaccine still ongoing. Rain or shine claimed the last quarter-final slot. Jay Sonza has failed to show up before the NBI.
U.S. election results and maps 2020. Joe Biden wins U.S. election after victory in Pennsylvania. To give us some update on this report, let's hear it from Claire. Claire?
U.S. election results and maps 2020. Joe Biden wins U.S. election after victory in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden has kicked off his move to the White House after winning the Electoral College votes needed to become the next president of the United States of America, as Donald Trump again refused to concede the election. Mr. Biden has set his transition in motion by launching a website, BuildBackBetter.com, after beating Mr. Trump in the final key battlegrounds of the election, marking the end of a tense but protracted race for the White House. The Democrat and former Vice President to Barack Obama has so far amassed 279 Electoral College votes in the 2020 election, taking him over the 270 threshold for victory. That is compared to Trump's total of 214 electoral votes thus far. Victory for Biden came after clinching Pennsylvania and Nevada, where vote counts continued for days after election night failed to deliver a clear winner. The election saw the biggest vote turnout since 1968, with over 148 million votes tallied, and an Associated Press analysis highlighted that some of the biggest turnout increases occurred in states that liberalized their mail voting rules. Mr. Trump continued to sow doubt about the election results, with baseless claims of voter fraud and threatened legal action, despite mainstream news outlets calling the election for Mr. Biden's favor. This is Claire Nicor reporting.
Thank you so much for that, Claire. 2,442 new COVID-19 cases raised PH to 396,395. To give us some information with regards to this COVID-19 update, let's give it from Trisha. Trisha?
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I am Arisa Trisha Alnicog. News update. 2,442 new COVID-19 cases rise in Philippines to 396,395. Metro Manila update. The number of COVID-19 cases in the country reached 396,395 on Sunday, as the Department of Health reported 2,442 new infections. This count does not yet include data from 13 testing laboratories which failed to submit on time. The DOH said with 138 more infected residents, Rizal logged the highest increase. Based on the latest case report, also include the top 5 contributing areas are the city of Manila with 131, Benguet with 130, Batangas with 113, and Bulacan with 112. The DOH also announced 11,430 more recovered patients, raising the tally of survivors to 361,638. Meanwhile, the death toll hit 7,539 with 54 more succumbing to the disease. Of the new fatalities, 39 occurred in November, 12 in October, and the other 3 in August and September. The latest bulletin showed the country's active cases now stand at 27,218, which is 6.9% of the total case count. Of these currently ill patients, 82% are experiencing mild symptoms, 9.6% have no symptoms, 5.4% are in critical condition, while 3.1% are severe cases, the DOH said. It added that 8 duplicates were removed from the overall tally, while 5 cases mistakenly reported as recoveries were classified as death. After a final validation, some 7.4 million individuals nationwide have been tested for the coronavirus, with the cumulative positivity rate, or the percentage of those infected out all tested, at 9.5% based on the department's COVID-19 tracker. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Trisha. Unsubstantiated statements of Ka Eric's confession embattles armed forces of the Philippines. Let's hear it from Molly. Molly?
Good afternoon, everyone. Mali Crisistamo, CNN Update. After getting the hit of issuing unsubstantiated statement embattled Armed Forces of the Philippines AFP, Southern Luzon Command Chief Major General Antonio Parlida Jr. on Wednesday presented what appears to be one of his aces, certain Eric Almendras. In his interview, Ka-Eric claimed that he was a member of CPP, NPA, and the National Democratic Front for almost 27 years. In DZRH interview, Ka-Eric accused groups such as Bayan, Anakawis, Gabriela, Kabataan, and Aktuture as a group of NPA. He said, for these lawmakers to prove that they are not NPE, he called them to publicly condemn the NPE and support the government in its fight against insurgency. That's all.
Thank you so much for that, Mali. The push for the COVID-19 vaccine still ongoing. To give us some update, let us hear it from Feby. Feby?
The world is in the midst of COVID-19 as the World Health Organization and partners work together on the response, tracking the pandemic, advising on critical intervention, distributing vital medical supplies to those in need. They are racing to find vaccine. Vaccine saves a million of lives each year. Vaccines work by training and preparing the body's natural defenses, the immune system, to recognize and fight off viruses and bacteria they target. If the body is exposed to those disease-causing germs, later, the body is immediately ready to destroy them, preventing illness. There are vaccines to prevent more than 20 life-threatening diseases, and work is ongoing at unprecedented speed to also make COVID-19 a vaccine-preventable disease. There are currently 100 COVID-19 vaccines candidates under development. If the vaccine is found, the COVAX will facilitate the equitable access to distribution to all countries to protect, and people most at risk will be prioritized. This is Feby Waname Di Maranga reporting.
Thank you so much for that, Feby. And now let's move on to news sports. Rain or Shine claimed the last quarter-final slot against Talk and Text. To give us some information, let's hear it from Gil. Gil?
I'm Galvin and this is News Sport Report. Rain or Shine claimed the last quarter-final slot after an 80-74 upset of PNP in the PBA Philippines Cup Tuesday at AUF Sport Arena and Cultural Center in Angeles, Pampanga. The Elasco Painters picked up their 6 wins in 10 games and eliminated NLEX from playoff contention in the process. JV Mocon hit 5 free throws in the last 1 minute and 28 seconds, including a pair that put the Painters ahead for good, 74-72, and a couple more to seal the victory, 79-74, with 19.5 ticks to go. Mocon finished with 16 points and 10 rebounds, while James Sharp also scored 16 points. TNT was always at its absence of its star guard, Jason Castro. Castro did not play reportedly due to knee soreness. Troy Rosario had 18 points and 10 rebounds for the Tokang Giga, but the forward had faltered down the stretch, missed an ill-advised triple that led a fast break layup on the other end before committing an offensive foul in ensuing play with his teammate down 3 with 23 seconds left. Rain or Shine took a 67 and 57 lead heading into the final frame, but went on dry spell before Gabe Norwood sank a jumper from the baseline for 72-69 edge with 3 minutes and 31 seconds left.
The movement of the tropical storm Ulysses slowed as it moved to the northwestern part of the Philippines.
Signal number 1 is raised in Catanduanes, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, the eastern portion of Masbate including Ticao and Burgess Islands, and southeastern portion of Quezon in Luzon. While in Visayas, signal number 1 is raised in northern Samar, northern portion of Samar, and northern portion of eastern Samar. The areas mentioned will experience rains and gusts of winds as the storm approaches. Aside from no signal, it is still dangerous for small vessels to sail on one of the shores of Ilocos region, Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Aurora, Quezon, including Pulilio Islands, Kalayaan Islands, and eastern coast of eastern Samar. The center of Tropical Storm Ulysses was last seen just 555 kilometers east of Verac, Catanduanes. From the latest track of Pag-asa, the storm will approach Bicol region and will possibly landfall tomorrow, crossing southern Luzon to the West Philippine Sea. And as we look at the storm-tossed areas here, it will almost be close to Camarines Norte, crossing Rizal, Laguna, Cavite, and very much close to hit NCR and southern part of Bataan before it come out to the West Philippine Sea. But there will be other places where the center of the storm passed through. It would be in Bulacan, Pampanga, Zambales, Tarlac, or even in the south, the whole Bicol region, the province of Quezon, southern Quezon, Batangas, or Cavite. So for those people who resides there, you should always be ready. The rain brought by the storm is already felt in Aurora, Quezon, and in Bicol region. That's why, early in the morning, it would be raining up to extreme northern Luzon and other parts of Bicol region. And in the afternoon, a lot of rains will be felt. More places would be raining stronger. Ilocos region, Central Luzon, up to Mindoro, and Calabar zone. In Metro Manila, there's a chance of rain to some places, but that will be in the afternoon as it goes continuously. And there will be heavy rains in Quezon City, Marikina, and some parts of Camanava. Also, heavy rains is expected in eastern Visayas, Samar and Leyte provinces, Caraga region, and Davao region because of the storm. And in the afternoon, there will be localized thunderstorms in most parts of Mindanao such as northern Mindanao, Zamboanga Peninsula, and in Visayas, Central Visayas, and some parts of Panay Islands would experience heavy rains.
Those are the latest news about Tropical Storm Ulysses. This is Jaira Parilla reporting. Be safe, everyone.
Jay Sonsa is a former newscaster and talk show host. He was the manager of the stereo television station UNTV 37 from 2004 to 2009. Failed to show up before the National Bureau of Investigation to explain his side on Julia Barreto cyber libel complaint. Just recently, ABS-CBN News shared tweets that read broadcaster Jeff Sonsa was failed to appear before NBI Cybercrime Division. He was sent a subpoena and was scheduled to explain his side on Julia Barreto's cyber libel complaint last Friday, 3 p.m. But he did not send a representative or any documents to explain his absence or his position on the complaints. The NBI will proceed in its investigation. Sonsa can present his side once the NBI recommend the filing of the case in the prosecutor's office. Jay previously claims that Julia and Gerald Anderson spent lockdown together and are now expecting a baby. But the said actress immediately debunked his claims and personally went to NBI to file against him. This is Labilin Baradillo reporting for Showbiz Update.
That's the news for today. Again, this is TV Patrol, willing to serve every Filipino people. God bless everyone and keep safe.